Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on the First Alert Desk. My name is Karli Barnett, and we want to give you a look at some of the stories that we've been working on and sort of a preview of what you're going to be seeing later on. So we appreciate you joining us. One of the things that we are actually talking about here just before we came to you live, a lot of buzz about the movies Oppenheimer and the Barbie movie. I know I'm looking forward to seeing both. We have on our digital team here, Ellie, she saw both already, so I was getting a bit of a lowdown. So we're a little bit late getting on here. But hey, it's the weekend, and this might be a great weekend to see those movies. Thankfully, we're not seeing any of the rain that we saw yesterday. So you might just want to be dodging the heat when you go to the movie theater. First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin is going to be joining us in just a few minutes for a little bit more of your weekend forecast. But we want to dive right into some of the stories that we are working on for tonight. So we hope you joined us for our 6 o'clock newscast. If not, you can join us at 9 and 10 on Peachtree TV, as well as 11 on CBS. And you can also stream all of our shows by going to atlantanewsfirst.com or our app. If you have your phone in your hand, go ahead and download that now. And we want to keep you updated on all platforms at all times. So we want to tell you where some of our crews are at right now. Reporter Brittany Ford, she's actually going to be bringing us a story about a food mart that's been broken into several times. There's some pretty crazy surveillance video that goes with that. You'll be seeing her a little bit later on. But I do want to take you to this story that our reporter Asia Wilson is working on for us. I was about to say several, but it's a lot more than several. It's almost 100 cars broken into at an Inman Park apartment building. We're going to take you to this video now. And people there, unfortunately, as you see, they're vacuuming glass out of their car, glass shattered on the ground, windows having to be taped off with tarp. You can see where they smashed the windows in. We're told that 2 weapons were stolen from cars. Also, an Atlanta police cruiser was broken into. That is not the vehicle that the weapons were stolen out of, but officers say it happened around 7 this morning at the Mariposa Loft Apartments. They say it was more than 100 vehicles broken into, including that patrol car. We spoke to one person who says the vandals took $80 from their car, smashing 3 of their windows. And some residents say that the complex has experienced some minor incidents before. Here's what one resident had to tell us.
We've had the gate to our garage has been broken for months and months, and we've been filing complaints with management here to try to get it fixed. And they keep saying, oh, the part's coming in, it'll be fixed, and then it hasn't gotten fixed. And the thoughts I had when this happened was that I want to move. I want to move units if I can, or move to a different complex because I just don't feel safe.
Now, unfortunately, stories like this are not new here in the Atlanta area. We have also told you about other major break-ins of several vehicles happening all at one time. So this is all at one apartment complex. We want to point that out. More than 100 cars at this one apartment complex. And it was around 7 this morning that officers responded there. Again, this also included an Atlanta police cruiser. You can see just a big old mess that they left behind. We do know that some money was stolen. We know weapons were stolen. And at this point tonight, Atlanta police are still investigating. So if you have any information, they are urging you to reach out to them. But obviously, this was just not a great morning for people that woke up here at this Inman Park apartment complex, hoping to get out, enjoy their weekend, start their day, and now they're having to deal with cleaning up all of this mess. So Asia Wilson, she's going to have a live report for us on TV tonight. I know that she's been speaking with neighbors there. She was also collecting some photos that people were taking, some really shocking photos showing those smashed windows, and you're getting a glimpse of it here. So join us a little bit later for that, and she will have a full live report. We want to take you to another story now. If you saw a very large police presence in Sandy Springs, this may have been why earlier. This happened at the Sandy Springs Range and Gun. We are told an accidental shooting took place at the gun range. The manager of the Sandy Springs gun range says a man was putting his weapon away today when it went off and shooting him in the hip. Now, the good news here is the man is expected to be okay, but it certainly did prompt a response. There were police vehicles out there. There were emergency vehicles out there. That man, very lucky, said to be all right, but definitely an unfortunate incident to happen. We are told the shooting was completely accidental. There is nothing for anyone to worry about. The public is not in danger at all. This next story is using a tragedy to pay it forward, and this family using their heartbreak in order to try to help others. Reporter Bridget Spencer brings us the story from Rockdale County promoting bike safety for children, and this family explains why that means so much to them.
This family is turning their pain into purpose with the Ride for Kai. It's an event that seeks to raise awareness for an issue that plagues many roadways today. Kai McNair was a special kid who loved riding his bike.
Full of life, full of energy, very adventurous.
Jocelyn McNair gathered with her community at the South Rockdale Park Saturday to remember her son and take a bike ride in his honor.
Thankful for my community that they, put this event together.
The 10-year-old's life was tragically cut short on March 22, 2021. He was riding his bike along Ebenezer Road near Cherry Hill Lane in Conyers. He tried to cross the road but was hit by a car.
This one mistake he made, by not listening and, going out into the road, it cost him his life.
But investigators say that driver kept on going. The sheriff says the suspect is this woman, Lakia Shoemate, who's still awaiting trial.
I just can't imagine anyone striking a kid and leaving the scene of an accident. Even if you don't have kids, that's somebody's child.
A sign at the scene of his death was recently put up in Kai's honor. McNair and the law enforcement community are all hoping the Ride for Kai can continue to grow each year, and along with it, awareness.
When a 10-year-old is struck and killed, and you just leave them for dead and not provide any aid to them, it just made us be more aware that bicycles need a little bit more attention.
In Rockdale County, Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
So again, this is just one of those stories that's bittersweet. It's nice to see this family raising awareness, but obviously a horrible incident had to take place in order for them to come up with this initiative. So Bridget Spencer reporting on that tonight. We have a lot to get to, a lot more news ahead. Again, you can join us at 9 and 10 on Peachtree TV, 11 tonight on CBS. And we know it's the weekend. You've got movies to see, things to do. Maybe you're headed to church tomorrow. Maybe you're headed to brunch. And of course, we want to know what the weekend is going to look like after the last 2 days of some crazy weather. I know that we were out reporting in it last night, basically standing water, essentially. Some places looking more like indoor pools, but thankfully a much better picture ahead. And First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin is joining us now. Got a shot at the Atlanta Open and
another big event.
Yeah, what's going on?
I was out reporting on the Atlanta Open on it was Friday, right as the first storm developed, and everyone was saying, "Oh, it'll blow over," and I just had to give them the meteorologist look and say, might not be. And then sure enough, weather got pretty dicey there for a little bit, but play today fine, not impacted by any rain. Play is of course over for the day. We were watching that earlier on our live cam. We have a bird's eye view shot right here in the Atlanta News First studio. Again, thank you for tuning in, for watching. I'm Atlanta News First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin here to give you a check of the forecast. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, I want to remind you, you can navigate over to YouTube live. Right now, the account to like and to follow, it is Atlanta News First. You can watch this feed or maybe subscribe so you can be alerted to any of our feeds, whether it's breaking news, breaking weather, or just one of our normal check-ins that we do a couple times a day to make sure you are aware of the latest news headlines and what we have going on in the forecast. And it's relatively good news today in the First Alert forecast. A mostly dry evening ahead, though keyword mostly. We do have a little bit of moisture out there this evening. We'll go ahead and bring up radar right now. And we're going to take you south and east of the city of Atlanta. That's where we do have a little bit of shower activity still popping up at the moment, but again, very, very spotty. That's a live look at radar looping over the past several minutes. And let's expand the view just a little bit more to the south. Notice we have a couple of showers down here in Coweta County, south of Noonan, heading down into kind of the northern tip of Troup County, Meriwether County, Moreland to Hogansville to Luthersville. A little shower approaching. We'll put a pause on radar, track this for you. Probably won't last too much longer, but models are suggesting maybe a spotty shower. Not what you're seeing now, but maybe some new showers developing, though still very hit or miss late tonight into early tomorrow morning. There's a rough timeline for you. Luthersville, 8:36, about right now. Primrose, if it holds together, 8:48. The Alps community, 8:53, and into the Gay community, 9:02. These showers not even producing any lightning nonetheless. Brief heavy rain, maybe a rumble or two possible. But we're dry in Atlanta, mountains of North Georgia, mostly dry. Zooming down in, we do have a little bit of shower activity north and west of Blue Ridge, north of Dalton. That's out of our viewing area. And up into extreme north and eastern Raven County, kind of near the Dillard House, if you're familiar with that area. We do have a little bit of shower activity building in from western North Carolina. Nonetheless, rain chance is minimal this evening. If you are worried about the rain, don't be. If you do get rained on, it'll be relatively brief, but even on a low rain chance day, the First Alert Weather app is a great tool to have. If you don't have it yet, just scan the QR code on your screen. Though you're probably streaming on your device, can't exactly do that. Just search Atlanta News First or First Alert Weather in your app or Google Play Store. It's a quick, easy, and free download, and you can be alerted to any rain approaching your plans. We'll keep that very low rain chance, 0% through 10 p.m. in the city. 10 to 20% chance of rain late tonight and early tomorrow morning. I think on our Sunday, we're going to wake up to a few more clouds. Temperatures a little cooler, near 70 in town, but mid to upper 60s elsewhere, and even some upper 50s up in the mountains of far north Georgia. And a 20% chance of very isolated showers out the door tomorrow morning. Let's talk more about those low temperatures, though. Again, mostly dry, but some clouds around, spotty shower possible. 59 in Blairsville, not too bad. Up 985, highest of elevations, upper 50s, lower 60s. 70 Atlanta, 66 in Griffin, 65 Canton, so Cherokee, Bartow counties. Pickens County, we had 2 tornadoes confirmed from storms that rolled through Thursday evening. And we still do have a handful of folks without power up there, so you are embracing the cooler condition tonight into tomorrow morning. I wish it would last. Unfortunately, it is not going to, hour by hour. Not much of an impact from any of the spotty showers that develop, but there could be a little bit of moisture around tomorrow morning and possibly even a downpour or two developing as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Though notice how spotty it is with temperatures approaching 90 in the afternoon. Though notice mountain communities, upper 70s, lower 80s. You get out of the highest of elevations, and we're looking at more of the kind of upper 80s to near kind of 90-degree threshold there. So it will be warm tomorrow, but humidity kept in check, not a big issue. Brianna, Ray, thank you for watching. Again, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, if you have YouTube open, that's probably the platform you're watching us on now, though you could be watching on Roku, Amazon Fire, maybe in the News app, the First Alert Weather app as well. You can navigate over to YouTube Live, ask your questions, monitoring the feed here for another few moments, and I'll answer your weather questions, comments, concerns as they come in. Again, the story is a good one here as far as the weather is concerned. We're talking about drying conditions in general, a more favorable outlook for any plans you have going on this weekend, drier weather and drier feeling conditions in the First Alert forecast. So a 1-2 positive combo here. We get the lesser rain chance, a break from the storms, also some lower humidity. Back in the First Alert forecast. Won't last all that long, so enjoy it while we have it. Heading to the pool tomorrow, again, a spotty shower or two possible. Rain chance 10 to 20%. Most are dry. Even if you do get rained on, will not last that long. Just head indoors for a moment, then you're back outside. UV index outside of any of the showers, very high. Apply and reapply that sunscreen. High temperatures tomorrow, warmer than today. Mid to upper 80s, more or less low to mid 80s today. And yes, it's not going to be desert air. There will be a little bit of humidity, enough to maybe make it feel a couple degrees hotter than what the thermometer reads tomorrow afternoon, but not the type of humidity we can get this time of year and what we have been dealing with the past several days. And on the monkey meter, humidity remains in check relatively, and I do mean relatively, by our local standards. Dry air in the forecast through midweek, Wednesday or so. It's going to be hot, though. Temperatures low to mid-90s. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, initially a dry heat. Wednesday onward, though, humidity is back. Going to feel hotter than 100. Most likely in the afternoon and early evenings. And that spotty storm chance back in the forecast Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right now favoring hotter and drier, though some data does bring in a greater rain chance. We'll be monitoring that as we get into late week and into the coming weekend. Time now is 8:35. I want to remind you always we're looking at data in the Weather Center, and you're never more than a little bit away from the next newscast. And check out the forecast. We're live at 9 p.m. Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV. Back in the 10 o'clock hour. 11 p.m. we're going to switch over to WANF. Reminder, you can stream any of these newscasts in the First Alert Weather app, Atlanta News First app, and at atlantanewsfirst.com. Of course, watch us on TV, so we'll be keeping you updated. Here's a live look at a temporarily quiet Atlantic station. Atlanta Open resumes tomorrow. I'll have that forecast coming up starting at 9 p.m.